Hi, how's it going? Hopefully it's pretty good. Um, I'm just swell. I've had a very relaxing day, a little relaxing. So I'm literally just wearing two ponchos. That's not important. What's important? Football. What's important? Football. So we're gonna be talking about the NFC Championship games. So the NFL Championship games, which includes the NFC Championship game, including the AFC Championship game as well. So before we get into those games in particular, we're going to talk about how my predictions of the playoffs so far have gone. Let me go back one more page. And we're going to take a look at what we got right and what we got wrong. We got the Chiefs game, right? Well, the Chiefs versus Steelers game, right? We got the Bengals versus Raiders game, right? We got the Bills versus Steelers game, right? Well, I got all three of those right in the AFC. We got the Buccaneers game, right? We got the Rams game, right? And we got the Cowboys game wrong. That was the only game wrong of that week. From that point, moving on. Other way. Moving on. We have the Tennessee-Cincinnati game. Now, I got that one right. And now, I got the Kansas City Bills one. I got that one wrong. But let's be real here. That game was won by a coin toss. Not by the NFL players. It was won by a coin toss. That was an equal game the whole way through. It was ridiculous. One of the best games in NFL history, and it was ended with a coin toss. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to predict things, not gripe about overtime rules that should have been changed years ago. At least for the playoffs. Like you can keep that format for the regular season, but this is the only stat I'm going to throw out. 90% of games that go into overtime in the NFL postseason are won by that single drive, meaning the team that gets the football with the first drive of overtime in the NFL postseason has a 90% chance of winning. 9 out of 10. Basically an automatic win. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about it. It was a phenomenal game. Both teams should have advanced. But sadly, the Bills were not the ones that did. So I got that one wrong. Green Bay, San Francisco. Yeah, I got that one wrong. That's just a fact. I got that one wrong. I got that one wrong. Tampa Bay, Los Angeles Rams. I got that one right. So half and half. With one that was right. So I'm not bad, honestly. Should have been 3-1, but this whatever. And I actually, from that point, I had the Bills and the Packers playing each other in the NFL Super Bowl, but that can't happen. So we currently have we're doing this again. We have the Kansas City. We have the Kansas City Chiefs right here. Let me write it out for you. I can't spell it. I can never spell Chiefs properly. It's one of those words that gets me. What am I on about? And then we got the Cincinnati. Oh, here we are. I feel like there's another N in there, but I'm not gonna do it. Yeah. No, it's wrong. Oh, man, I can't spell. You're not here for my spelling. You're not here for my spelling. I can normally spell words, I just can't spell cities. You're not here for that anyway. You're here for my phenomenal football expertise, the slight ASMR with it, the rambling, or just because you like me. You're not here for the spelling of American cities. No, you're not. However, watch me spell Bengals right. Boom. We have the Cincinnati Bengals at the Kansas City Chiefs. Who will win? I guess that's what I'm here to tell you. Now I'll be the first to say it. I'm not the first. I'll be like the third, maybe fifth person to say it. But go Bengals. I don't have a disdain for the Chiefs, but I like Joe Burrow. Also, it'd be pretty cool if, like, at the very end of Tom Brady's career, we get to see a guy, get into a window. That's not important. Mahomes has already done that exact thing I'm referencing, to be honest. Let's talk about the game though. The Bengals O-line was awful last week. 9 sacks allowed to the Titans D-line. However, I did say that was going to happen. Especially to Simmons. Now, Simmons is a better pass rusher than Jones is. However, Jones is still phenomenal. And also, Tennessee's D-line is able to create more one-on-one matchups with Simmons. Kansas City, not as much. However, Kansas City's other D linemen outside of Jones have actually been stepping up a little bit more than I expected them to. What's his name? It's not D4. What is his name? Frank Clark. He's started playing well on the outside, but the other guy on the outside is playing better, and that's Melvin Ingram from the Steelers / where did he play before? The Chargers. And also South Carolina. If they can do the same thing to Joe Burrow that Tennessee did, and Mahomes not be slowed down Mahomes not throw 3 interceptions, they should win. This game should be a high-scoring game. Cincinnati's defense is good, though. Like, they have Trey Hendrickson, who's healthy. Like, most of their team is pretty healthy. The D-line is good. Not as good as Kansas City's, per se, but in some ways they're, like, more talented across the board. Because, Carlos Dunlap, is he still there? No. Is he? No, he's not. No, he's the Seahawk, what am I talking about? See, here I go. The Bengals, Trey Hendrickson, he's better than I thought he was. Who else is on that D-line? I honestly can't. Wait, what's his name? What is his name? Oh, man. I'm trying to think of the big... Oh, man. Oh, it's going to bother me. Trying to think of the big D tackle. He had a phenomenal game last week. He's a nose tackle. He's arguably the best nose tackle in the league. What is his name? Oh, man, that's going to bother me. Either way, the point stands. The lines are fairly even. Kansas City has a slight advantage. When it comes to the O-line of the Chiefs, they are better than the Bengals, so that matchup leans more in the Chiefs' favor. Running game leans a lot more to the Bengals' favor, though, and that's how you beat the Chiefs, is with a steady run game and pairing that with a few explosive plays and not just relying on the explosive plays as a whole, which is what they did last week, and still won. Kansas City is more, both of them have been more like this recently, but Kansas City, basically the whole season, has been more like a team that gets the running backs involved through the passing game more than the running game, through checkdowns or screens, instead of actually just straight up running the ball behind their line. Mahomes is a better quarterback than Joe Burrow at the moment, but Joe Burrow can absolutely go toe-to-toe with that man, and he has better receivers. Kansas City absolutely has a better tight end. However, and Tyreek Hill is probably better than any of the Bengals receivers, but the Bengals receivers, including their tight end, all spread out together, I think are a better core than the Chiefs have. Last time they played, it was actually fairly recently. It was week 16. Joe Burrow had was it 400 yards? Maybe a little bit less. think he had 400. No, yes, I think he had 400 yards. Jamar Chase had 253, I think it was, receiving yards. Jamar Chase I think he had over 250. I'm not 100% on that, but I know he had 3 touchdowns last time they played. Fairly certain, might have been 2, but I'm pretty sure. The way he had a phenomenal game, like an absolutely just phenomenal game. Now the Chiefs. Well, some people's logic is that'll happen again. And I would be of the same belief if the Chiefs didn't prove that they can kind of not do that anymore. Because last week they did it with Stephon Diggs, and Stephon Diggs did not have a actual real good playoff game. However, somebody else broke records on that team, and that was Gabriel Davis, their technical number 3 receiver. 3 or 4. I think he's actually their 4 if we're being entirely true to the depth chart. Because number 1 is obviously Stephon Diggs. Number 2 is either Cole Beasley, who was the number 2 last year, but he seems to not be. And Emmanuel Sanders is definitely the other outside receiver. However, I like Gabe Davis more than Emmanuel Sanders. No discredit to Emmanuel Sanders. I just think Gabe Davis, he just touchdowns. He gets touchdowns, and I'm just one of those guys. I don't know what that means, but he went off. So that means, in my opinion, what they're gonna try and do is they're gonna try and slow down Jamar Chase like they did to Stephon Diggs, and force T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd to go off instead. T. Higgins is gonna get at least what he averaged? He averaged 20 yards per play, something like 20 yards per catch whenever he played them last, or 10 yards, something like that. I think it was 20. So he's probably gonna have a good game. I think he's gonna have a good game. It should be a high-scoring affair. It might not be, but because both their defenses can be good, and the Bengals' defense is pretty good usually. They were allowing 17 points per game in the season. Well, that sounds kind of nice. Well, I don't like how that does though. Like just scratching it up. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, ball. I'm not gonna do that anymore to you. This is a nice ball. Ain't no need to be scratching on like that. It doesn't sound nice though. The Bengals secondary is much better than the Chiefs though. So the Chiefs should get some plays out of it, but not be phenomenal in my opinion. But the Bengals, they could do the same. They could do bad, but they also could do phenomenal. They could just go off again. They could just think that the Stephon Diggs tactic that last week will work with Jamar Chase, and Jamar Chase might just break that. In my opinion, it's either Jamar Chase or T. Higgins blows up on the Chiefs, and the Chiefs have to do some crazy stuff and win the game. Now, I still expect the Chiefs to do that, which sucks because I'm rooting for the Bengals. But I think the Chiefs are going to win. They are at home too. Do I pick the Bengals? Punk myself. Do I pick the Bengals? Tell me, do I pick the Bengals? I need to know. I can't figure this out. Man, I just think the Chiefs are gonna win. Yeah, I have to pick KC. I have to pick KC to represent. However, I'm rooting for Cincinnati. But I'm picking Kansas City. Moving on to the next game, it is the Los Angeles Rams hosting at the Super Bowl stadium. The San Francisco 49ers. Hold on, I forgot to write it. I also just did the scribble thing, so it's a lot. Make this an S. Yeah. San Francisco. That's fun to say. San Francisco. That's fun to say. 49ers. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, what do we have to say about that game? The 49. Where do we start? Let's start with the 49ers beating the Packers. They should not have beat the Packers. The Packers scored, was it one touchdown or was it 10 points? One of the two. Aaron Rodgers did not look good. The turf seemed to mess everybody up, but Green Bay, honestly, more than San Fran, at least the turf. They played good defense, but the 49ers special teams won it for them. Their defense held true long enough to allow their special teams to score points for them, which is crazy. Enough points to win the game solely through special team scores. The San Francisco 49ers have beaten the Los Angeles Rams twice this season. There's a whole bunch of stats going out about how hard it is to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. Yeah, there's also, but how hard is it to beat a team that you've lost to 6 times in a row? I think that's the better question. San Francisco has the better. They have the better overall team, in my opinion. They have talent everywhere, and with a few certain select stars, like Trent Williams is arguably the best player in football last year, but he's playing injured right now. What's his name? Fred Warner is playing well, not up to his normal standards, but he's still playing really well. Nick Bosa, he's crazy in the playoffs. Apparently he's a monster. It's been showing up too. What else do we got? On the offense, Deebo Samuel's absurd. So, Garoppolo is not doing them any favors. Garoppolo should have lost them the game to the Packers about 3 times. But it was about 3 times where Garoppolo threw a pass that was a floater to a receiver that was covered and late, and while he was under pressure. So four things that you should never do when targeting somebody. You can maybe get away with one of them normally. No, he went with all 4, and he got away with all 4 on multiple occasions. 3 of those, in my opinion, should have been a pick 6. If they had just found the ball instead of the receiver, that's going the other way. And the only one that could have really stopped them is the receiver, the running back, the receiver / running back, or Garoppolo. And Garoppolo's not that fast, or good in my opinion. But being the NFL's most attractive quarterback does come with its perks. But that Jimmy Garoppolo is the reason why I have doubts about this 49ers team. But there's also a few other reasons why I'm leaning more in the Rams territory, and his name is Von Miller. Playoff Von Miller is just as real as playoff Nick Bosa is, and it's more experienced. I can't believe I forgot to mention George Kittle when I was talking about the 49ers. I apologize. And Brandon Ayuk, too. I got distracted by Jimmy Garoppolo. their running mate with Von Miller is Aaron Donald, who has been playing questionably lately and also his whole career, but I think he just he either plays mean and players just don't like it, and then he gets like real mean after that. Because he was like choking a guy like a week ago or something like that. You know, but like he's really good. that's the questionable thing. He's really good at his job and others. He's an undersized defensive tackle who penetrates. He just gets in the backfield and always pressuring the quarterback for the pass, or he's stopping the ball carrier for tackle for loss if he's not covered up properly. Von Miller brings pressure off the edge. I can't quite remember who the other edge rusher is for some reason right now. It's escaping me. But their strength is their superstars, which is Jalen Ramsey and Von Miller and Aaron Donald. Those are their three main superstars on defense. They have good players elsewhere and all around. They have some injuries, though, as well, especially in the secondary. I don't think Taylor Rapp is playing, but he might be. They signed a formerly retired Eric Weddle. He had a mistake. He had a penalty the other week that almost cost them the game. Cam Akers is playing sloppily because he can't hold the ball, and it's probably because he hasn't been playing. And it's what happens when the running back hasn't been playing in a while, and you give him a high amount of carries again. Their offensive line is honestly about the same, maybe even a little bit better. It's a big if their left tackle comes back to play. No, not Trent. No. Andrew Whitworth. Andrew Whitworth is their left tackle. Old guy, probably gonna retire after this year, but man, is he still good, which is crazy. He's the Tom Brady of left tackles, honestly. Well, almost Tom Brady. He's not like the greatest of all time. I don't think he's ever been like the number one in his position, but he's always been like top 5. So, real good. He's like 40 also. So, I have faith in this Rams team with Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp. Now, they kind of gave the game away last week to Tom Brady, and probably should have went to overtime if it weren't for the terrible play call by the Buccaneers defense on the last drive to send a cover 0 against a team that only needs 40 yards. I just think that's really stupid. It doesn't make any sense to have nobody back there covering deep, not even one, and that leaves your second safety, like your number 2, not your number 1 safety, your number 2 safety, because you have 2 starting safeties, and let's be real, one of them is always better than the other, and if they're interchangeable, like the Bills, but your number 2 safety covering the number 1 receiver in the NFL, the number 1 receiver in the NFL. Not gonna work out. And also, because I know that actually made me kind of angry but upset for the Buccaneers, because I'm not a Buccaneers fan, but like bad play calling just it's not good football. Okay, so I'm going to set the situation for you. The Rams have no timeouts. The game had just been tied, I think 27-27, if I remember correctly. Might have been 30-30, but I think it was 27-27. Matthew Stafford gets the ball, I think it is 25. The ball, I guess there's about 30, I want to say 30 seconds, maybe 25, maybe might have been 45. But less than a minute, if I remember correctly. I might be wrong. I might be misremembering. This is just from what I remember, but I'm fairly certain I'm correct. Less than a minute left. Gets the ball back. Matthew Stafford, 25. First down. I think it's first. I might have been second, but I think it's first down. they show blitz. Not like tremendously, but they have the box kind of covered, and people doing the lean in thing where it looks like they're about to rush, and like a lot of players will fake that. They'll look like they're about to rush, and then they'll back out on purpose. However, either way, it had the safety over top of the best receiver in the league, like directly over top, which usually means it's man-to-man defense with that guy. Sometimes it means that he's going to take the over, and then there's going to be a second guy underneath. However, all that takes to learn that is just one little read. And Matthew Stafford got the ball. He saw a free rusher on his right side, which meant that it was a all-out blitz, and he saw that it was a 1v1 across the board with all of his receivers, including the best receiver in the league, who got almost 2,000 yards. And he just put it up. He ran a seam, direct route, like direct straight vertical. Put it up there for him, caught it. Now think about this, for instance. You know it's a pass play, right? You know it's a pass play. They have to get some 9 yards. They don't have any timeouts. They're going to try and advance the ball and get out of bounds. Advance the ball, get out of bounds. Putting the ball in the middle of the field kills them because they have to spike it. So you can blitz. If you need to blitz, you can blitz. You can send 5, maybe 6. At most. There's no reason to send 6, in my opinion. You shouldn't even send 5. In that instance, if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm rushing 3, and I'm protecting the boundary, and I'm having 2 guys in the middle, and I'm kind of bracketing them up the thing, because they can go in the middle of the field. As long as they don't go past 20 yards in the middle of the field. Because if they get a 10-yard, 15-yard middle of the field play, all right, cool. They'll spike the ball. Takes about 20 seconds off the clock, maybe a little bit less. They try doing that again. Maybe they're in field goal range, but you get to play your defense a little bit closer. So it's less likely, and the clock has to run. So there's a factor of them having to not only beat your defense, but beat the clock too, and spike the ball with enough time to score. However, with and I get what they were trying to do, the absolute just smack the ball out of their hand kind of thing, where they and the last thing that the Rams need was a sack. So if you sack the quarterback, the game was basically done. The game goes into overtime, because they maybe have time for one more play, maybe, but unlikely, because there would be receivers down the field that have to sprint back to the line of scrimmage and line up on the line of scrimmage, and then have the ball spiked. And within that'll probably take, depending on how fast the sack was and how fast the receivers noticed, probably about 7 to about 13, 14 seconds. And honestly, that could even be longer, depending on the situation and how long they're staying on the quarterback for. So it could honestly be up to 30 seconds, which could kill a game. But I don't think that benefits it nearly as much as the other one does. Cause you're trying to go to overtime. You're just trying to not allow them 40 yards. I don't care. You don't care. You do care about a touchdown, but the touchdown is not your highest priority. Them getting into field goal range, 40 yards is not acceptable. Okay, then we should not allow 20 and 15 yards as well. So right? Nope, we're just gonna allow the 15 yards, and then we're gonna call time. Yeah, nope. I didn't even get into the Bills game, man. I didn't even get into that. That was incredible. I don't think he was. I don't look it up. If you're for some reason, or if you're interested in sports, and you're watching this, you normally watch sports. Look up the NFL 2021 divisional round playoff game between the Chiefs and the Bills. That is some of the best football that's ever been played. Watch that. It's so entertaining. It's not worth me. I shouldn't recap it because it's just that good. I won't do it justice. Is basically why I won't do it. Phenomenal. Back to the game that we were talking about. I'm picking the Rams. Mostly because of Jimmy Garoppolo. And then at that point, it'll be KC versus the Rams. However, I'm rooting for it to be. Excuse me, I have to sneeze, but I'm not gonna let myself. I'm rooting for the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Los Angeles Rams. And at that point, I'll be rooting for the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, however, if it is Kansas City Rams, I'm rooting for the Rams, but I think it would be Kansas City who would win. However, I'd like to see Von Miller get after Kansas City, but at the moment, this is what my prediction looks like for the playoffs after this round. I'm gonna put scores behind these because I haven't been doing that all week, the entire year. Or I should have been doing it in the playoffs, but I didn't because I'm a silly goose. 24-23 in the Chiefs Bengals. And I'm going 'If you're still at this point watching, thanks, but I need to figure out what the score is going to be. What is the score going to be? $23-20 for the Rams game. 24-23 in the Chiefs Bengals game. Picking the Chiefs, picking the Rams, but I'm rooting for the Bengals and the Rams. Go Bengals. Thanks for watching, everybody. I don't know why I just said it like that, but here we are. You can tell that I don't know what to do with this, with how to end this now. You can tell. I can tell. You can tell. Do you know how I can tell that you can tell? Because I can tell that because I can tell. Good night.